And now we have the first presenter, Trendslide. Jeffrey, come on up. Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Jeffrey Rosell. I'm one of the co-founders at Trendslide. We're a two-person startup, started in this past March actually, March of 2012. Funny enough, one of our co-founders comes from Bright Cove, so it's kind of funny to be in this office tonight presenting on my startup. So anyway, Trendslide was really founded on the idea that it's really too difficult to get access to your business analytics and your information. Whether you're a startup founder, an executive at a company, just interested in social media and your own analytics, it's too difficult to get. Getting your business analytics should be no more difficult than getting your email on your smartphone. So we started Trendslide with this concept, and we said, all right, mobile's going to have to be first. Mobile is the device of the future, especially for executives. And this is the device people want their analytics on. Certainly not maybe for an analyst or a data scientist that really wants to deep dive. We're not trying to compete with deep dive tools. But for basic trend level analysis and data-driven decision making, people want trend level analysis. So we built an application that can give you just that. Essentially, it's a mobile dashboard that connects up to popular data sources via OAuth, so Google Analytics, Salesforce.com, Twitter, Facebook, Shopify, Mixpanel, etc. And via these connections, we can pull in analytics and present them to you via an iPhone or an iPad app. So this is just a little bit what the interface looks like. We just had a release yesterday, actually. And this just basically shows just a few of the different metrics that we can pull in for you. So mentions from Twitter, revenue directly from Shopify, website visitors, and goals of information, goal conversion rate, goal completions, goal values from Google Analytics. So especially if you're a Shopify store owner or thinking about opening a Shopify store, we can pull everything from when a person first touches your website via Google Analytics all the way through goal completion until they make a purchase, and then you can see the revenue hit right within Trendslide. However, an app isn't really the end game for us. There are thousands of apps out there. I'm sure half of the audience here is probably building an app. So really our goal is to go beyond that. Our goal is to have a web app backend and really an enterprise model for an enterprise software company that can really fit the likes of Bright Cove or any e-commerce or any SaaS-based business, about 300 people or so. That model will really allow these devices to collaborate and communicate with one another. Our platform isn't necessarily all about analytics. It's about making smarter decisions, making intelligent decisions, not waiting to the next month or waiting to the next management meeting to figure out that you missed your revenue target or your leads were down 30% and you had no idea. You can figure that out today, tomorrow morning, and start to address that problem in real time as it happens. So within the Trendslide Enterprise platform, a little bit different than just the app, it's individually tailored notifications. So if you sign up as a business and you specify your role as sales or maybe operations, we can send you individual notifications different by role to say, this is a metric that you want to pay attention to. This is maybe something you want to address today. If I was a sales VP and I got that notification right on the left that my sales pipeline was low, I would certainly probably adjust my day and cancel a few meetings to make time to figure out what was going on with my pipeline. And as I mentioned, collaboration on trends, annotations right within the platform and threaded discussion right within the platform. And there's a plan to really pull this in also from Google Analytics. And then share and discuss trends via email. We support this today actually, so you can easily with one touch share a trend. Maybe you want to share it with a colleague and say, hey, what's going on with our website visits? You know, why are they trending down? Or what's going on here? So we make that easy. I already mentioned those two things. And so our business model. This is for the enterprise platform. The app itself is actually free, so if you have an iPhone or iPad, I encourage you to download it. But business model for the enterprise platform is really partnership with a lot of these different enterprises that we're talking about, like Shopify, HubSpot even, and being able to promote our app into their customer base. I think I'm out of time. Thank you.
I just want to check if this works. Okay.
Any questions?
What trend? Are you trend slide or trends slide?
Trends.
So there's no D in the tweet?
Sorry.
I just saw in your last slide that it says $30. You're already charging for it?
I'm sorry.
You're already charging for it?
So the app itself is free to download. With this release that we just went out with, when you're trying to configure more than 3 trends, 4 or more, I guess I should say, we ask for a $3 in-app subscription, so it's really trivial. I mean, it's a cup of coffee or maybe 2. But aside from that, it's totally free.
So the $30 are for what? For a monthly subscription? Or?
The $30 is for the Trendslide Enterprise platform. To be clear, the Trendslide Enterprise platform is under development. It's not available today. But when that is available, that will be pricing for that product.
Thank you.
So, so you mentioned hooking up, enterprise hooking up private data sources. What do you need to know to make that work?
We don't really necessarily need to know too much. A lot of our competitors get database access, and as a result require IT support or consulting, require a lot of integration effort to work within your business. Our integration is really handled via third-party sources. Now we recognize that not all your business information is hosted somewhere in the cloud. So we've already written an API where with a simple script you can actually push information into Trendslide. So whether it's a data source that we don't support yet, maybe HubSpot or Kissmetrics or something like that, and you want to push that information into Trendslide, you can certainly do so with a small little script. Or if it's just an Excel spreadsheet, you can do that too.
I have a question. You guys are based in New Hampshire. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Sure. So,
How did you get across the border?
I stuck across. Actually, the Boston Globe just recently had an article that New Hampshire was the startup state 2.0. So yeah. There's actually a lot of great startup activity happening in Manchester, New Hampshire in particular, but all across New Hampshire, really a few main hubs. Certainly, we don't have anywhere near the amount of startups that Cambridge and Boston has, but being in New Hampshire allows us to keep our burn rate really low. To be honest, we pay like $300 for rent for office space. We can keep our burn rate just ridiculously low and extend out our capital that much further. So it hasn't really been a bad thing reaching our target market. I come down to Boston a lot. My co-founder is our technical talent, so I go to a lot of the events. So I come down to the Cambridge-Boston area a lot. But aside from that, there's really been no disadvantage to being in New Hampshire. In fact, I'd say it's an advantage.
So those tracks are only made when one of the notification conditions is bad?
No, so once you download Trendslide and you'll land on a screen that will ask you to kind of connect with one of the data sources. So let's just say Twitter is the first one. You put in your credentials, We'll connect you up with Twitter, and we'll offer you a list of metrics that you can pull from Twitter. You can turn those on individually, so mentions, for instance, if that's what you wanted to see, and then you'll get a graph. And then every morning after that, as long as you allow notification in the first place, we'll give you a notification every morning at 8 a.m.
So is the idea that if we had Google Analytics connected to the Trendslide, we actually wouldn't be using Google Analytics anymore if we was on our phone.
Theoretically, unless you really want to dive in deep, but I mean, we do support goals, and I mean, certainly you can go a bit deeper, but for the high level information, you know, it's kind of the perfect use case.
Last question.
What are your anticipated customers doing today?
So that's a good question. We feel that we fit in a layer in between like BI dashboards and really no solution, frankly, or maybe not no solution, maybe that's an exaggeration, but Excel spreadsheets, frankly, I guess I would say. BI and traditional dashboards are for serious reporting, deep level analysis. They're typically only for one functional area, executive management, marketing, sales, whatever the case may be. Insight Squared is a great dashboard company right here in Boston, actually. And I would say that we kind of fit in a layer in between that. We're kind of that first layer that provides easy analytics for an executive or for a manager before they really have to make that deep level analysis. A lot of that analysis is done by team members, individual contributors, and not necessarily the manager or VP, C-level executive. So that's where our target is.
All right, thank you, Jeffrey, with Trendslide.